I've got assigned to a new software development project and I have the first meeting with the project owners in just a few minutes. I'll share the recording of our whole conversation. It's very insightful, so stick with me until the end. If you are new to this channel, here you can learn all aspects of project management that work in the real world. It's the right place for new and experienced project managers. On the one hand, this meeting is just an introduction, but on the other, I know that if we don't set boundaries and goals for the project, we won't do it further down the road. So now I need to think about the right questions I want to ask to collect the information I need. According to project management theory, I need to create a project chart. However, we don't use this formal document in our company, and clients usually prefer to avoid such formalities. Nevertheless, as a project manager, I am interested in collecting and capturing high-level project information that will help me control the client's expectations better. I know one resource that has great examples and templates. I'll check pmbasics101.com to see if they have a project charter template. Yes, they do have an in-depth article here. I'll just copy section headings as a starting point. Now I need to ask the right questions to collect accurate information for these project charter sections. But it's time to join the call with Delana, so please pay close attention to how I lead to those topics. Okay, if you are a seasoned project manager, please pause here and share your insights with the community. Please write one question a project manager should ask during the first meeting with project owners. Thank you so much for your participation. Hi Delana, glad to meet you.
Dimitri, glad to meet you too. Give me a second, I'll find the button to turn on the camera.
Oh no, my project owner is Llama. Mark my word, it won't be an easy project. Llamas are fluffy, but they are real beasts in business.
So, you're going to be our project manager. Very good. I am Delana and I am a delivery manager at Soft Assistant. I hope we'll build a great partnership.
Me too. I'm really excited about this new project. I'm dying to know about it a bit more. So, please help me understand what we are dealing with, why did you decide to create this app, what is it for, and how will it benefit your company and your client? So I ask this to understand the context of the product. It will help me to write the description in the project charter. And maybe Delana even has a business case for it.
So, Soft Assistant is a subcontractor of SG Games. We help them with the software development of different games and business systems, but we have just started. So anyways, we did a bit of research. The group has players that like complexity and all the game's capabilities. But some calculations during combat, for example, take too much time, and they lose momentum and fun.
Okay, I can relate to that. It's a great idea.
Yes, Chris told me you had some experience in these sort of games. Anyways, we have an extensive fan base and we expect that we can create an app that will help them have more fun. We'll sell it for a small subscription, so we'll make money on it in the long run. Isn't it great?
Yes, nice. They thought about the business need and even business justification. They plan to get a return on their investment, but on small projects it's quite rare. So now let's ask about requirements. Yes, it's fantastic. Do you have some vision or high-level idea of what the app should look like?
Yes, as I said, we did research and stuff. Anyways, I decided we'll start with two, what would you call it, screens. One for a simple calculator for combat situations and another for calculating the effect of an explosion and stuff.
Oh wow, we're getting into some interesting topics here.
You bet, more fun stuff to come. These rules are really complex, but you can do lots of things with them.
Is there a reason why we do only these two? We can cover so much more. Do notice how I subtly asked about project constraints? By the way, if you find this real example useful, please click the like button right now. Thanks for your feedback.
All in its time. We have only 2 months. After that, we'll need to present something to our client at their in-house summit or conference. Anyways, we have a deadline.
Got it. Do you have an exact date for that summit? I want to wrap everything up at least 1 week before that.
I'll need to check. I'll follow up with you later.
Got it. Then I'll assume that implementing this first version of the app should fit into those 2 months. I know we have just 2 developers and no business analyst, so it's a potential limitation for us. Now I have started managing her expectations, because Delana puts a deadline. That's one constraint. I have a limit on available resources, that's another one. So you should always talk through such moments, don't leave them in the air.
Yes, but before I forget it, we also want to connect our user database with the app. So people will get into the app with the email and passwords they use on our site.
Okay, yes, it's possible, and it puts dependency on the web team that maintains that site and database. We'll need a contact.
No problem, I can get to that.
I don't know all the requirements from Apple, it's just from my experience of using the iPhone, but we may need a separate screen for user settings to restore purchases.
Ok, you guys are experts here, so just let me know what it takes.
Okay, notice how she almost forgot about a critical requirement. We need to integrate with the assistant. Don't be shy to double check if that's all they know about requirements. And that's where I want to mention high-level risks that may impact our project. When I did research on groups, I discovered that the main rules take 500 pages in total. Sure, I'll keep you informed, but let's get back to the requirements. We know there will be 2 or 3 screens, and we know that business logic, or rather the game rules, is quite complex. So will you provide us with all the detailed requirements, and most importantly, when can you do that?
No worries, Dimitri, we did the research. Anyways, our team is still working on it, but I'll send you all the specifications and stuff in a few days.
And now I've started to worry a bit. This Llama lady doesn't feel like an experienced IT project manager, so she might not know what it really means to provide high-quality requirements for a software product. So let's verify my assumption. Super, in what format those requirements be?
Not sure. I'll check with my team.
Okay, no worries. Based on what we have discussed so far, do you see any risks for this project?
No risks here, only opportunities. It should be simple stuff. Anyways, we need to wrap this up. I have an urgent request to address.
Alright, it was a pleasure to meet you, Delana. So here's what's going to happen next. First, I'll follow up with what we have discussed so far. Then, while waiting for the specifications, I'll work with the team to set up the project. Then we'll have a meeting to discuss the requirements.
Sounds good to me. Thanks for your time. See ya!
Right after the meeting, I capture what I've just learned while it's still fresh in my memory. Nothing fancy, just raw notes I'll use for the project charter. I'll show you the notes I took in the following video, and I'll explain how to convert them into a project charter that will help us deal with this project. Okay, give this video a like and subscribe for the next series. Thanks for watching, see you next time.